Hey there, everybody, and welcome to Fearless Thinking, a podcast designed to help you navigate authentic leadership and the entrepreneurial journey. I'm your host, Michael Devous, and these are my thoughts, lessons, and insights from my entrepreneurial journey into coaching, workshops, motivational speaking, and of course, what I picked up from interviews with inspiring leaders and entrepreneurs along the way. My mission is to help people unlock their untapped potential by using fear as a catalyst for powerful change and growth, so they can step into the greatest version of their most authentic selves. All right, let's get into some fearless thinking. Hey, fearless thinkers, welcome back. Episode 51. 51. Gosh, I can't believe we've got this many episodes in the can. Well, it's been a crazy spring since launching this episode April 1st. Today's episode, From Idea to Impact, the essential roadmap for aspiring entrepreneurs. Now, you know that I'm always trying to find ways to provide entrepreneurs, mentors, and aspiring leaders with ways to deal with fear, ways to address their mindset, and find ways to work together, collaborate, and help each other create more impact, better together, me to the power of we. And, all entrepreneurs, I think, if you've had a brilliant idea, right? You've got a brilliant idea and you feel overwhelmed by the thought of turning this idea into a reality. That's early stages. Excuse me. That's early stages of the entrepreneurial journey, which we've all been on. And it feels like a lot of times in terms of the overwhelm that there's not a lot of places you can go out there to find support. You can get lost trying to find groups, trying to find relevant resources, and like-minded and like-valued individuals that share your particular experience on your journey, right? And I think sometimes for those of us who, if you're like me, you're very ambitious, but you also tend to just sort of like do things alone because you just don't know that there's anybody else that can do it the way you want it done, and you tend to not lean on people. You don't want to lean too heavily on other people. But today we're going to break down that entrepreneurial journey and into some manageable bite-sized pieces and some steps from the initial spark of the idea and then to your launch, sort of a entrepreneurial road map. One is the idea validation. So before you invest time and money and you validate your idea, that's the point. Talk to potential customers, research the market, and then gather feedback. One of the ways you can do that, obviously, I guess you could reach out to people on LinkedIn to talk about your ideas. I've noticed that there's these little surveys, these Q&A surveys, 3-question surveys you can put up on LinkedIn, on Facebook and Instagram and all those other social media platforms where you can ask people A or B questions. Pick 1, 2, or 3, and you can help get some validating if you don't have the resources to pay for a focus group study or anything like that. You can pull the resources that way by polling people in your audience, by going to groups on Facebook and groups on LinkedIn that are focused on that area that you are, that your product or your service is. And then you can post some of those surveys in there to get some feedback from them about whether or not it would resonate with them. That's one of the ways you can get idea validation. Market research in terms of finding how your product will land in the market. What's the competition look like in the market? What's the area? Obviously, I think, not obviously, but most entrepreneurs, I would think, are looking to fill a niche, a void or a gap where the market hasn't provided an answer or a solution, and you believe that your idea is that thing that fills that gap, that fills that need. Second is to build a strong foundation. This is where not just creating your business plan and securing your funding to establish, your legal structure. Those are all important things as well. But creating a timeline set of milestones along that way, a realistic set of steps that you can attain along your journey, I think is crucial to helping you mitigate getting distracted and getting off course. Two, to navigate whether or not you're hitting your targets, to confirm and affirm whether or not you're meeting those goals and those objectives, and breaking them down into bite-sized pieces of deliverables that you can do over time is a really great way to see whether or not it's feasible. I'm super ambitious, trying to get a lot done in a short period of time. And that's me. Like, that's because, when I started out doing this at 2 years ago, at 52, I feel very late to the game, quite honestly, I feel very late to this game, and having finally found something that really, really drives my passion, and I want to be helpful and I want to do as much as I can, I feel very driven to do it as quickly as I possibly can. And that's one of the things that drives me. And I have to put everything up on the board. I've got to get it into a time frame and a timeline and look at it and figure out the bite-sized pieces and the chunks to see whether or not I can do them. Because honestly, right now, it's just me. It's me. And I got one other individual who's joined me recently that is partnering to help me do a lot of this stuff. I've got one other person that's helping with marketing, website development, and possibly a virtual assistant. Now that's just admin work and some smaller things and stuff, but getting things and posts out there, researching groups, platforms, YouTube channels, things like that. But the real grunt work of developing the concepts, the ideas, the branding, the marketing, the messaging, delivering on the assets, that's me. And there's only just so much time in a day. And when I'm looking at trying to figure out how to balance my life and how to structure things, having that foundational groundwork, that framework built out for me helps me understand whether or not I'm being realistic with myself. Like, what can I accomplish in that span of time? What's reasonable for me to be able to do without killing myself, and getting to a place of frustration and burnout. So make sure you've got that strong foundation. Go-to-market readiness is the third. This is where developing your brand and crafting your marketing message and getting ready for launch is crucial and important. There's a lot of resources out there that you can find that can help you develop your brand and your resources. I have leaned very, very, very heavily on AI. I use chat, I use Gemini, I use Fireflies, I use a lot of them. I take the same ideas and concepts, I take the same copy and stuff that I've written, I put it in all of them, and I ask different questions. And then based on those questions and the responses that I get back, I piece it all together into a framework of messaging and copy that resonates with me, what I believe I would say, how I would say it. Now, I've got these threads inside there where I have uploaded tons of my own personal work, journal writings, articles, speeches, things like that I've put in there to give it a sense of my voice and my tone and my attitude, my perspective. And it seems to really help over time. It gets pretty good at adjusting and creating the verbiage and the copy that you need. Of course, now I've worked in marketing and PR for many years, communications, marketing, PR, producing events. So red carpets, you name it. So I've had a lot of experience and background in that area. So for me, it's sort of natural for me to be able to come up with the ideas and the copy and the messaging. I will say that right now, as I'm in the process of promoting and reaching out to people, we've got a campaign that's on LinkedIn that I'm reaching out to a lot of CEOs, a lot of executives and entrepreneurs and stuff. And there are some out there that are like, I don't have a clue what you're talking about. Don't understand what it is that you're offering and how it can help me. And I love that very blunt and very candid response from, and this is typically very high-end level entrepreneurs, and they're busy. They are successful. They don't need me, at least they don't think they do, and they don't need what I have to offer. But it's also clear to me that if my messaging isn't clear, if it's more clever than clear, it's not hitting the mark. And so I go back and I thank them for their honesty. I thank them for their candor. And I go back and I try to look at the messaging. I try to look at the things that are being offered to make sure that I have made it very clear what we have to offer and what the messaging is when we go to market. That's feedback too, guys. That's not just idea validation. That's brand validation. That's messaging validation. So you can get a lot of that feedback on there. But you can also start pretty good relationships and establish connections with people by, thanking them for their feedback, period, full stop. Number 4 is launching and scaling. Now when it's time to take your business into the world, and really go to market with it, and you're going to launch and now scale it, right? It's just the beginning, really, of you think it's you've done all this work. Maybe it's months, maybe it's been years to get it to this point. But even that, man, that's just the beginning of getting it out into the world. And now you've got this iterative feedback loop coming from your customers, coming from your clients, coming from your team, coming from the market that can help you continue to develop your product, your services, and your offerings to ensure that you continue to grow and scale. And that's the real journey, is figuring out how to scale and grow your business. Alex Hormozzi, get his stuff. Just get his stuff. Listen to his podcasts, get his books, get his free, you can find all the free stuff on there. He's really, really smart about how to do this. He's got some really basic, it's just straight to the point delivery of things you must do if you want to scale, if you want to build your business, if you want to market your message and get your offerings out there. $100 million offers, $100 million leads, and then, of course, his podcasts and his website, by the way, which he offers a ton of free resources. Hugely successful. Really like the way that he delivers this information. He and his partner, Leela, have really done a lot of work. Now, mind you, they're only working with big businesses, businesses that make $10 million a year or more now. They can do that. They can afford to do that. But what they're offering and what they're teaching us about how to scale and grow your business is really valuable. And I would lean on that as well. Now, what I'm trying to do with it is building a place for all of us aspiring entrepreneurs, those little people down here at the beginning of our journeys. He talks about the 10 million to 100 million reach. I'm down here below a mil. Like I'm like, hey, if you're starting out at 0 and you're still trying to figure things out, and you need a group, a family, of like-minded individuals to collaborate with, to gather resources, to get coaching, mindset coaching, professional development coaching, workshops, seminars, all that stuff. That's where I'm at, helping us down here. The smaller fish who are ready to learn how to become bigger fish, and what it's like to swim in those rivers. And, the Ascend Hub is a place where it launches in August, where we're going to provide opportunities where you don't have to navigate your journey alone. And, we have resources and mentorship supported communities to guide you every step of the way. But we too, by the way, need your iterative feedback. I need your candor. I need your feedback to tell me, what do you need in here? How do you need it? What kind of things and resources will really help you? Because where you are right now may not be where a lot of other people are, right? And if I don't have that feedback, I could create a bunch of resources and workshops and stuff, but if it's not meeting your needs, then it's not successful for either one of us. So yeah, share with us a little bit about your thoughts about where you are on your journey. Do some hashtags and subscribe. Oh, and give us a review. I'd love to have a review on there from you. It really helps not only the channel, but also me. I would love to hear from you about what it is. If I'm offering stuff that doesn't make sense, if it's not landing with you well, if it's not resonating, or if it is and you want more and you want specific things, please tell me and let me know. Your entrepreneurial journey can start any day at any point in time, and you don't have to let fear or uncertainty hold you back, because we're here. Fearless Thinking podcast, the Ascend Hub coming this fall and August. So yeah, we're going to help you turn your ideas into impactful ventures. So thanks for joining me today for this short little episode of Fearless Thinking 51. Man, I can't believe we've done it. All right. Go have an incredible week. Do some fearless thinking while you're at it. All right. Check you later. Bye.